the recess meeting for the Occidental County Board of Supervisors for the month of May. We're going to ask Supervisor Little if you would lead us in a word of prayer, please.
Let us pray, please. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for all the things that you give us and all the things that you've done for us, Lord. Lord, please be with us as we go through this week. Help us, help guide and direct our words, actions, and deeds, Lord. And please give us discernment and wisdom as we go about the business of the people of Occidental County. Thank you for everything, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Supervisor Little. Again, thank you all for coming out. We've got an agenda here that's not terribly long. Hopefully we can go through it swiftly but efficiently. So with that being said, we're now ready for our citizens' comment period. If there's anybody that would like to come before the board for up to 3 minutes, you can do so now. Good morning, Mr. Thomas.
Good morning, good morning. Seems like that we're going to have to be all in the grand dragon ain't going to quit. The NACP is going to have to be on high alert to try to keep peace. With the storm that we had last Thursday, which will be 2 weeks this coming Thursday, we would like for the people, we have a lot of people that try to con people. We need you all to try to let them know, be careful at who you confide in, because the storm was kind of tough, but you also got con artists out there as well. We're glad to know with me and McCullough that all the old head gone, so that we and the kin people, we have to take care of each other. That also, Rocky, we can do better. It hurts when a woman beg and beg and beg, women beg and beg for help. Glad we can do better. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Turner. That's a good looking 3-button suit you got on there.
Yeah, man, this is brother.
Need a motion to yes, sir. Need a motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams to acknowledge comments. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Good morning, Mr. Trainer. Can you hear us well?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Good morning, man.
Good morning. Good morning. Is there anybody else that would like to come during citizens' comment period? If not, we're now closing our citizens' comment period. Next, we have scholarship awards from the Mississippi Association of Supervisors. And annually, these go to some of our high school graduating seniors. And this year, we've got a couple recipients. Our county administrator, Mr. Carpenter, will introduce you to those recipients.
So, yes, sir. Thank you. The first awardee is going to be Miss Emma Hosper.
Congratulations.
So, what we have here is we have a certificate of recognition signed by the president of the board, and then we have a check for $500 for a scholarship to be used at a public university of your choosing. I'm going to slip that right in behind here. I'd like to read this for you, and then we'd like to give you, Mom, and you an opportunity to get some photos. So this certificate states, Certificate of Recognition presented to Emma C. Hosper, the 2025 recipient of the Mississippi Association of Supervisors County Employee Scholarship, awarded by the Mississippi Association of Supervisors and the Occidental County Board of Supervisors, awarded this the first day of May 2025. So congratulations, and we wish you the best of luck.
If you don't mind, would you go ahead and introduce the other one, and then we'll do pictures.
Okay, all right.
You can have a seat. By the way, that's the daughter of longtime attorney Jeff Hosper here in Occidental County. city of Starkville.
And Mama's here as well.
And Mama sits right back there.
All right, our next recipient is going to be Paradis Lawrence. Congratulations. And what, again, we have a check for $500 and a certificate of recognition. And so I'm going to read that, and then we'll have some opportunities for photos. Certificate of recognition presented to Paradis J. Lawrence, 2025 recipient of the Mississippi Association of County Employee Scholarship, awarded by the Mississippi Association of Supervisors and the Octavia County Board of Supervisors. Awarded this the first day of May 2025. And I would like to point out that both of these certificates are signed by Derek Surrett, the Mississippi Association of Supervisors Executive Director, and the President of the Octavia County Board of Supervisors, Mr. Marvell Howard. So I'm going to slip this right in behind that. We're going to try not to lose this part. That's the most important part.
Congratulations. Okay, Oscar, if you and your mom would come forward.
And if we could get, yeah,
Use that as the background.
we're going to try and slide y'all in behind here and let the seal be a background.
How do y'all want to do this? Do you want to do the whole
Me and
board?
this one.
Get in the picture with us? Sure. Okay. Arrange this as we can.
Hey, Mom, when you hold that, let us leave. And then, you go, yeah, I'm just walking around here. All right.
You got everybody?
I got everybody. Then you get whatever you want. All right, on three. 1, 2, and 3. All right.
Congratulations again.
I want to get one with the two girls to get the receipt.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the family. Yeah.
Okay.
Before him gets away.
Yeah, go ahead and make sure we get one with the girls, both girls together.
Hey, let's hold up. Let's get one with both girls together. Then we'll move the family in. And we'll get y'all.
No, it's too good.
Want to see? We're gonna give Mr. Allen that.
This is Joe, I think it was too good.
And then we'll get the full board with you. All right. All right.
Now, Miss Lawrence, we'll get one with the full board and, yeah, Miss Trudy, come, yeah, you come on back on this.
Come on, Mom.
Daddy too, got daddy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mr. Bradford, Joe Bell's back there.
This is awesome.
Oh.
Get in that way.
All right, Mr. Joe, jump in there for me. All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. And this is the niece of one of our long-time retired employees, Mr. Joe Bell. How you doing? Yeah, he did a lot of great work for the county.
Yeah, make sure you don't lose that part of this. Congratulations.
Thanks, sweetheart.
Thank y'all so much. God bless and best of luck.
Thank you all so much.
Congratulations.
Wonderful.
I think that's the fun part.
And Miss Lawrence has given us a thank you card, and in this card she says, "Thank you for the donation. It will help me further my education. I will be attending Mississippi State University, majoring in agricultural business. I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Ms. Paradis Lawrence."
Thank you so much. Hopefully this will help buy one of those building blocks for your future. Next, we'll move down on our agenda. Community Council, Miss Whitney Wilcox.
Actually, Whitney Cox.
Whitney
But my husband's
Cox.
name is Wilcox, so,
Okay.
you know,
Yeah,
we'll
I
take
put
it
on
on.
there.
Wilcox.
I showed it, baby. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I'll answer to anything.
Good morning.
I've got some of our basic So usually what I bring y'all is like a list and overview of all of our services, but I was like, I don't need to know that. They know what we do. This year we're gonna bring some like numbers for y'all to look at. So in fiscal year 2024, we served 592 adults, which is an equivalent of 5,303 therapy appointments, a little over 4,000 case management services, 1,200 psychiatric appointments, and our PSR program serves about 19 to 22 clients a day. On top of that, we serve 213 children, and it's got the numbers of therapy, case management, psychiatric appointments provided to those kids. But at the bottom is something a little bit different. So out of Oktibbeha County, we sent 21 individuals to our crisis residential unit in 2024. We sent 10 individuals to residential drug and alcohol treatment. Some of you may know, I know Ms. Sharon definitely does, July 1st, the state changed the process of our pre-affidavit commitment process, and it has drastically increased the number of pre-affidavit assessments and commitments we've done.
What does that mean? What to change it further?
So it used to be where a family went straight to the Chancery Court and could file for commitment, and then they got sent to us to do the assessment. Now, anyone can come to our office and fill out a pre-affidavit application, and we have to assess them right there to determine, do we think they need to be recommended for the commitment process to continue to state hospital, or do we think maybe they just need outpatient therapy, maybe they need to go to the crisis center. The goal is to prevent people from sitting in jail or going to the state hospital that don't need to be there. And I definitely think it is working for that, because we've been able to divert a lot of people away from the state hospital, get them out of the jail cells for the jail administrators and into mental health treatment. But it has been busy. We've seen, usually I think we would do what, like 16 maybe?
A year, yeah.
16 a year. And so far we've done 30, right? And that was just from July to December 2024, we did 30 alone. So it's been a lot. We're on track, I think, to do about 60 something a year. So it's a big increase in that. Our I-Court program is our intensive. That's for individuals who are frequently in and out of state hospitals. And so our I-Court team tries to, it's a nurse, a therapist, a case manager, and a peer support that stays with these people multiple times a week, trying to make sure that they stay on a good path and don't end up back in jail or the state hospital. So we have 25 individuals in Oktibbeha County that receive that service. You probably know some of them. We've had 50 crisis calls, and of those 50, 27 had the MSERT response team dispatched to them. So our MSERT team works very closely with the police department and their CIT trained officers to try and differentiate between what is a mental health call and what's a legal issue. And so they work really well together. I think Oktibbeha County has sent 5 officers through our CIT training this year, which is incredible. It's more than any of the other 7 counties that we serve has sent. So we're doing a good job with that. We've helped house 80 individuals. So we have some housing grants and programs that have been able to place 80 individuals, children, adults, both. Problem is we have $77,548 of services that were not reimbursed for in 2024. Whether that was because insurance or Medicaid denied it and wouldn't pay for it, whether Department of Mental Health grant funding ran out and wouldn't pay for those services, or it's just something we do at no cost to the individual. Our I-Court, our MSERT services, our crisis assessments to the school, whenever there's an individual who has been deemed a danger to themselves or someone else, we respond and do those. We don't charge for any of those services. So that's like an estimated fee for that. On the back of your page, you'll have the names and numbers of our contact. Mr. Wayne Tubb is our Oktibbeha County Commissioner. He's here with me today. Ray Evans is still the Executive Director. Our annual fiscal budget for all 7 counties is $22.6 million, and we have 300 staff that are employed in our 7 counties. In Oktibbeha alone, we have an annual fiscal budget of $2.5 million. with 54 full-time employees housed in October and a salary of 1.4. We provide, October County, you guys provide $45,500 in millage money annually towards our fiscal budget. In 2024, CCS helped drive over $26 million in economic impact and $2.7 million in indigent services. We don't collect any money from the federal budget. Updates, crisis residential unit, you've probably previously heard it called the stabilization unit. Department of Mental Health is changing it to CRU, so if you hear that terminology change, it's the same program, 8-bed facility in West Point, it's just called something different now. In October Hall, we started some new programs. We started working with the youth court this year, and we now have an adolescent offender program for individuals in the youth court, so they get group therapy twice a week and individual therapy. We also started a senior day treatment program, so for individuals over the age of 50 that are bored and they want something to do, they want to interact, they don't want to isolate. We take them on field trips. They have toured all over Mississippi State campus this year. It is kind of a socialization, keeping them active program. So that is also new in 2024, and we started that.
Over 50 is considered senior now?
It is. It is, yes. That was not my decision. We'll blame that on Department of Mental Health. And so the one thing that I've never done before, and I don't know how this process works, but one thing I was going to request from the board this year is an increase in our millage money. I don't know if there's paperwork that has to be done for that, and kind of whatever feedback y'all give, but y'all do have it, great. So I included a little chart on the back of this information that has the percentage of the fiscal budget for all of our 7 counties and what every other county contributes to that fiscal budget in millage money. And so you can see October, we get 1.8%, which is the $45,500 in millage money from the county. We are requesting up to 2.2% of our fiscal budget, which would be about $55,705. So an increase of a little over $10,000 annually.
We'll certainly take that request under consideration when we start our budget workshop.
And that's what I didn't know, like when y'all do budget, if there's paperwork that needs to be submitted, and how that works.
Take that under
This
consideration.
budget.
You offer great service.
Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful service.
Thank you.
And we do that in October.
Perfect.
But we'll keep it.
Awesome.
That way you don't have to do all that anything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Whitney,
Yeah. This is suffice. This is good enough. Yeah.
we will write, we owe you from the last budget. In other words, in October, they passed the budget to pay $45,500, and y'all received that check in August. So when we work through this budget, then you wouldn't get that until August of 2026.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to make sure you understood.
I didn't, but thank you. I do now.
So you still got 45,000 coming.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Well, thank y'all so much. Do y'all have any questions for me?
No, I would say you did a great presentation and explained why the need for budget requests. I think we'll be talking to you and understanding more about that. I would say, you know this, but I've had a couple family members go through the children program or and then having known you in Delta buildings and all that, and they have not just this, but all the things CCS does. It's pretty amazing if you could go through all the facilities all over, the daycare, the adult things they do. But yeah, thank you for what you do. And oftentimes it is, it sounds like y'all know more than others. It sounds like it's probably a critical step in differentiating who needs to go to the state, who needs to stay here and get the proper care instead of, somewhere being shuttled off. But yeah, thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I will say we were all kind of skeptical about this new law taking effect. That with us and community, it's been amazing work.
Yeah. It's good partnership between the police department, the jail, the
Yeah.
courthouse. It's really a community effort for sure.
We had a little bumps, but we finally, everybody got together and.
Has it reduced any of what they're trying to do is direct them in.
Oh, it's reduced it a lot.
So it's helped a
People
little
out
bit?
of the state hospital,
Yes.
yes.
All right, be thinking about what needs, I mean, as y'all move forward with this, what needs to be done to make it better, other than the fact that we just need more money. I would assume that would be a good portion of this.
A lot of it that could be done better, if not even with us, it's, you know, those that are coming out of the state hospital that aren't being set up for success before they leave. You know, they're being sent to a hotel, homeless, no income, no nothing, with a shot that'll last 2 weeks, you know, before it wears off. And so, you know, if there was a way to, like, you know, get involved with departmental health, because they're in charge of those state hospitals, but they have the ability to, our housing programs, they could go ahead and refer them before they ever leave, and we could find them housing to come to. But when you send someone into homelessness, of course it's gonna be that recidivism thing.
Let's the three of us get together and talk, because we really do have a serious problem with that dynamic, and I see it just in my own private practice, so let's talk, let's
Yeah.
figure something out.
Absolutely. I'll leave my card and y'all can reach out and schedule, because that's our biggest frustration.
My concern has been to identify those individuals who are substance abusers
Yes.
rather than mental health concerns. And how do we treat the substance abuse and alcohol abuse?
Yeah. Well, a new thing that's coming, Sharon, they probably emailed you. I think July 1 of this year, they're changing it to where the substance abuse commitment process is going to be handled the same way.
Coming through community counseling, I have not got notification. Can you send me that?
I will.
Okay.
Now that came from Ray. I have not read it, but I'll tell them to reach out and let y'all know. But
Please do.
substance use
Oh, well, that's-
commitment, well, which I'm excited about
Yeah,
because
because
There's
the
a lot of
waiting list,
concerns out there.
well, the waiting
Yeah.
list for that, if they come in, that's gonna be a good thing going through community counseling, because if they come in, the waiting list is like 6 to 8 months, and you've gotta send that person home. So
Yeah.
they're not getting the help that they need, then, even though the petition has been filed, they're still out on the street.
yeah.
So, I mean, and that's been our problem, is the drug and alcohol. But I think it'll work a lot better
It's
if
going
it's
to be
gonna start that way.
wonderful. Yeah, because we have ours alone, which is a 50-bed facility in Columbus, and then, you know, there's so many more of those than there are state hospitals
I'm glad
in
to
the
know that.
state. So hopefully that will help get the substance use population treatment quicker,
Yes.
and not let them sit in jail or be sent to a state hospital when they need substance abuse treatment.
Yeah. Because
So
a lot of the
that's kinda-
substance abuse is causing the mental abuse.
Yeah.
Sounds like then it needs to be at least 4 of y'all involved in it.
We need to, listen, we've got some serious problems here,
Yeah.
and I think that just us figuring out, and here, one of the problems I run into is, you're right, it's after they get out, you have a 2-week,
You got a
And
2-week
they have
window.
nowhere to go when they let them out.
right?
They'll
Or they don't
pay.
even have a way home.
It's not
Yeah.
right what they do. They'll pay for them a hotel for like a week, and then it's like,
So we
And
need
so
a good
we-
post-release, good post-release plan
Mhm.
is what needs to be put
And
in
it's
place.
not that they don't have any resources, they're not using them. They can get the same housing grants that we have and go ahead and get, in fact, if they come from a state hospital, they get sent to the top of the list, they're prioritized, but they're not doing it, they're just taking
So when
an
you say
easy
they,
route.
the
State hospital.
state hospital,
Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
They have put forth some effort then to.
Yeah.
Meridian business.
So it sounds like that the state hospital just need to be held accountable for making sure that they're sending
All of them need to be
notifications to
held
their,
Absolutely.
to their county.
It's across the
You know,
board.
we're
I've
working on
watched it.
that.
Absolutely, yeah.
So do they notify, like, you got somebody coming back to Octavia County, do they
There's-
notify?
What they're supposed to do
Is send us a
is
letter.
contact us at least 1 to 2 weeks before their discharge, so we can go ahead, we do a Zoom intake. I can go ahead and meet this person, open up their chart, get appointments scheduled for the doctor, they, you know, that's what they're supposed to do. They don't. it's not, it's usually what happens is we'll get a call the day that they're leaving and they want it done then, and we're like, what, but they're leaving today. We don't have time to get a plan in place, or they don't call at all. Or we get paperwork faxed over after they've already left.
Or you
years
find out
before.
after they've gotten in trouble.
Yeah, right, the jail's
Just go
calling,
home,
yeah.
Sounds like it needs to be better communications, and I don't know where you start pushing that point at, but at some point somewhere,
Yeah.
you know, that point needs to be pushed and relayed.
Yeah, because if you had a good plan in place, a lot of these people could do better for longer and be stable.
I will say that, I called Ms. Cox last week. We had an employee that's had a little struggle, and, communicated that information to her. She reached out to that employee, got some referrals happening there. So she's also a good resource to the county as far as our employees. Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
You're doing a great service. I know individuals who are utilizing your service, and they're doing well as a result. So,
Supervisor training, you got any input?
Everything's good with me. I certainly appreciate the good service that they do. And any updates on Miss Margot Swain? How's she doing?
We were just talking about her. I don't have any update.
I
Margot?
don't know. I knew her sister died several years ago, but they were twins.
Okay.
I haven't seen her probably in a year.
Y'all do good work. Appreciate all y'all do.
Thank you.
Anything else from Ms. Cox? If not, again, thank you so much for all the effort that you all put in.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Need a motion to acknowledge, so move. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Okay? Okay, next, we've got our fire coordinator, Mr. Patrick Warren. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I just have one thing on the agenda today. You should have it in your packet here. I just need some lights for my truck. They're not coming on the truck, but I need to purchase lights for my truck so I can get to the scene in a orderly fashion and be safe. Should have 2 quotes there. I'd like to go with the EP, the lowest of the quotes.
yeah, diesel power solution. Motion approval on diesel power solution. Seem to be lowest bid.
Yes, sir.
Been motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little, that we go with lowest bid, which is diesel motion. All in favor? In the amount of, is that 1,600?
No,
sir.
429.
7429.
In the amount of $7,429. EEP
EEP.
is the name of the company. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Just to, we've had a little bad weather here, but we did weather the storm. We had no injuries. We've had some good training going on in the county. I don't know if y'all seen it over the news with the Mississippi State Fire Academy. Just to kind of give you some updates on what's going on. I got some other things I'm working on. Some good news to come. I just want to make sure everything's lined up before I come and present it to the board. Hopefully the next board meeting or two.
Good recruitment video you sent.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. 2 of our college kids put that together. I thought it was really good. I thought it was good.
I had a question I really didn't know the answer to, and it's probably best to be asked publicly, but like on the debris removal, we're starting to have a lot of piles, not inside city limits, but out in the county. And I know that we contract out through, and the county has a rubbish truck, so is it our responsibility as long as it's, my history with the city, if it was privately done by a contractor, the contractor needs to haul it. But if a citizen takes their own debris and puts it to the road, that is the responsibility of the county to pick it up.
If it's debris, if they can get it to the right of way, am I correct?
That's been our practice.
Yeah.
I know, because a lot of times, you know, I would have issues with contractors trying to put that on us, and I said, that's not correct to do that, but, I want to make sure that's on public record.
It's basically the same thing. The part that's crazy though, or is frustrating, let me put it that way. It takes longer, when you put debris out there, and this is what a lot of our citizens don't really understand, we don't have a debris person going around every day. Whereas we do have, the county does have the services that we typically have when they come around, they pick up their normal, but the debris, you almost need to have somebody put them on notice that the debris is out there.
That's right.
And that's what we run into, is it'll sit out there for a month because nobody knows it's there.
And Victor can tell us more about that next, in order to the responsibility of the road department. And he can tell you about the status of our new truck that we've got coming for that purpose.
Okay.
And I don't know if we distinguish between like fallen tree debris and construction debris. Now, if there's a remodeling going on, people hauling construction debris out, now I don't think we.
Luckily with this one, you know, we haven't had much of that. It's not the sheetrock showing up on the side of the road, but you're starting to see piles of homeowners taking, I think it's got to be less than 8 feet long for the truck to be able to pick it up and haul it off. But you know, I want to warn contractors of putting it out there expecting we're going to pick it up when that was actually their responsibility. It should have been. So, roundabout, but we want to put that out.
I will. When I'm out on the scene, I will remind you.
Did y'all had no injuries anywhere?
No injuries. We got lucky, which is good, you know, because we've had some, you know, y'all saw the pictures I sent of the, you know,
Oh yeah.
there were people in those buildings, so we were very, very thankful. Very
I couldn't make rhyme or reason of which direction this thing came from. Which trees were laying this way, that direction, that. So it was like almost just like an implosion or something.
And we got hit all over the county. We got hit from Maven all the way to Rocky Hill. It was pretty
We
good.
haven't finished writing all the damage yet, y'all. Even at my house, we didn't know that the part of the roof was knocked off until the rain came this next week. Trust me.
You found it.
So we found all the damage yet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Need a motion to acknowledge our fire coordinator. Motion by Supervisor Carl, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Next we got our Sheriff Department, Chief Maurice Johnson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief. Alrighty. We've got two grant-related items. One is the request to allow the Sheriff Department to submit application for the 2026 Triad grant. It's 100% upfront payment. We have it every spring. I think this past year a couple of you all attended.
Move for approval of the Triad grant.
So a motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carver. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Also, the second one is request permit to close out paperwork for a JAG 2025 grant. We'll close it out.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams. Any discussion?
Well, you didn't purchase any equipment, I see. You have to account for any equipment, so that's good. As you close it out.
Yes, sir.
All in favor?
I think we use this for uniform.
Close out what grant?
Motion.
JAG grant 2026.
Fiscal year 2025.
And that JAG grant was for 5,000? Is that?
Yes, sir.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, all right.
All right, sweet and easy and short.
All righty. Now with road manager, Mr. Victor Collins.
All right, I don't know if mine will be that.
I think we just had to take care of business. That was, we taking care of his request, yeah.
All right. Y'all making it this morning.
Good morning.
All right. Get some eyes on so I can see. Okay, first thing on the agenda, you all may have we have a signed request from the city of Sturgis. I think we got that in, a copy of the request. Move approval. By Mayor Brown, and, these are the signs that she is requesting that be put up, throughout the city of Sturgis, and this is the amount of those.
Motion by Supervisor, Carver, second by Supervisor Williams. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
We'll be doing a lot of stopping in this area.
Yeah, you will. And just to, one of them is gonna be right there on one of our roads and where it joins the city of Sturgis, which is they're asking for one to be put on, Tom Street and Craig Spring. So I need approval to put that one there because it's.
Did you go out there and look at those?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think about that one out there at,
Well,
Craig Spring?
it's,
And I mean, think that's gonna help, or do
It
you
will-
think it's gonna
it will
cause
help
more
for-
problems?
what we talked about is the problem they having is people turning off Craig Springs, and they already got their speed up. And if you put a sign there, that would make them have to stop, which that would cause them to have to restart, thinking that would help. And then I think it would help on the speeding on Tom Street, being they have to stop. We're gonna sign that street with a little bit more, and we're gonna put a speed bump on that street to, yeah. Right near your house. So that's the request, and so I do need approval to do that since that's,
But now I have not gotten a request for the speed bump yet.
okay. Well, it's in here.
Well, that last I heard from last week, that is what did the board.
Well, now that just on that particular street, none of it.
Did they go before the board and get that approved?
Well, that's something she will have to take before.
Okay, I was just making sure.
Yeah.
Last you told me they.
Yeah, but I wanted to do this to make sure it was all, cause I do have to order that, and it'll take a little bit of time to get them in, I think. Well, the last time it didn't, they had everything set up with us, but, so, that was the only thing that was kind of conflicting between the county and the city of Sturgis, is that particular stop sign being put there.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, that we.
Williams.
Yeah, we all.
Okay.
We just need to do a word order for Craig Springs and Tom Street.
No, we don't.
All together?
They're all together.
So all of these wasn't a request together, you had.
Well,
second?
now, the second one is gonna be a request, putting a stop sign, because it's, like I said, it's infringing on the county road
Oh, this
and the
one.
city
I
road,
thought
so
you
it
put
needs
them
to
all
be,
together.
it needs to be,
Separate?
separate.
That's
Yeah.
Tom and Craig.
Yes, sir.
Need a motion to put a stop sign on, Tom and Craig. Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Williams. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
And you need a motion for the speed bump?
No, ma'am, I don't guess we will. That'll be on the city street, so that'll be, if they say it's good, then, it's in this request.
Okay.
It's in the request. I put the cost of it in the request. Okay, next you got on your agenda, or in your package, is, we have
I'd
a,
like to see that on the speed bump. It wasn't-
it's not in that?
We
Okay.
didn't do anything, or if we need one, just go ahead and let us know.
I'll go back. I'll just bring that on the next board, to the next board meeting for approval on that. I thought it was all put in there,
I
but,
see something that says rebar spikes for speed bump pumps. At the very bottom. Stop and pull.
That may be what.
yeah, that back sheet is for the speed bumps.
Yeah.
And the back sheet, that's just, it's broken down into hardware and speed bumps. So, but that is, I thought it was in there.
Rubber speed bump.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I was just looking at all this right here.
Well, the mayor's request doesn't include it.
Yeah, that was something that she requested afterwards, and that's something that we'll have to go through. And so once they get it straight,
Talking about it, they did get it approved brought it up. Okay, I see it on
My
here.
chicken has run over yesterday, so maybe slow down.
yeah. Okay, next on the agenda, we have some surplus used tires, and we're asking that they be classified as surplus, and we want to send those to the sale that's coming up.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carter, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, we're down to, I need approval to rent a harmonic roller, and it's possibly gonna be the same one we had before, from what he said, if but we.
People have to do a good job explaining this, cause I didn't understand what the season.
Okay.
So what's in their packet is not explained very well.
Alright, the rental for that roller is $48.48 per week for 4 weeks. I mean per month is what it is. It's per 4 weeks.
And one of them gave you a quote per week.
Alright,
Per
well,
week and not per month.
well it's saying per 4 weeks.
Yeah.
If you look at the Caterpillar rental rate, it's per 4 weeks.
How much do these things cost?
That roller, this particular roller is about $105,000.
And we rent it for how much every year?
48, no, for month, 48.
How many
And
months?
remember, this is a PO deal. If we rent this roller, a percentage of what we rent it for would go toward the price of purchase, if we decided to purchase.
Does it carry over year to year? Like last year's rental apply? To a
Yes,
total?
it will apply. It will apply. They did. It normally don't, but he did say that they would do that.
And that's the price of last year's,
Yes.
not the price, is what it would cost now.
Well, yeah, that's what's on it now.
Yeah.
That's what it would cost now if we bought it. And we've got some up there that would offset that cost.
How many, it says 160 hours in a month, that's 40-hour work week.
Yeah.
How many hours a month do we run this thing?
It just depends. It depends
Getting
on
100 hours
yeah.
out of it, you think?
Well, I know usually we get 50 to 75 hours a week out of it.
We're renting it, we need to have it running, you know.
And now, I'm coming down to, I would like.
We had.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna explain that real quick. So he's saying that we're getting 160 hours, so we're paying about $4,848 for a month of rental, and then we're just chipping away at this machine that costs $125,000. They're honoring every year's rentals, applying for a rent-to-own situation, and so right now it's down to $105,000. I mean, there's really not a loss to the county on this that I
No,
see
it's not.
of. And I don't understand why they're allowing us to have this good deal, but I think like
That's-
the only thing I see maybe lost is we don't own it right now, so if
Yeah.
it's sitting there and the month we're renting it, we need to be paving roads and using
Somebody
it.
else is using it too, though, that's the other side
What do
of
you
this. If we're not renting it, somebody, is that correct?
Yeah, but usually when we got it, we hold on to it until our rental season is up. That means until our paving season is up.
And everybody
And
else
then
is
it's
paying
turned back
season
in,
too.
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So fortunately, last year, once we turned it in, nobody else rented it. It just sit there. And so it's back, it's right there where it was.
Gotcha.
So, right now, this agreement is for 4 weeks.
Yes, it's a monthly rental.
So for 1 month.
Yes.
And then you'll rent it again in another month?
Yes,
Is that?
that's what we normally do. Yeah, if we need it, unless something comes up and we don't need it, then we turn it back in. But if we need it, we hold on to it. And if everything goes well, we'll need it throughout this year, because we plan on paving roads as well as grinding roads, which still requires this roller, because we got to reset them.
We need it.
Oh yeah, and no doubt we don't need it. I'm
Yeah.
just sort of wondering, if you get it for a week and you use it, you still got 3 weeks of rental left.
Yeah.
Do you take it back?
No.
Okay, you just hold on.
Yeah, I
to
just
it.
hold on to it. That's why we do it as a monthly rental.
Okay.
And plus this machine comes out of Jackson, so we'd have to transport it back and forth.
So do you try and coordinate to have enough work before you go and get it?
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, it may not be picked up. The rental may not start on it for the next 30 days.
Okay, I got you. That's okay.
I just have to get approval on it now, but
Yeah.
I may not. Right now it's raining. I won't go get it. But when we start to work, then we'll go get it.
I got you. Okay. That's good. It's been motioned by. Did we get a motion? Okay, motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Williams, that we authorize rental on the roller. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Alright, next on our agenda, I'm asking the board to authorize an advertisement for a double drum steel wheel roller. And that's the one that we use when we're putting down asphalt and when we're also paving.
Motion for approval, advertisement.
Is that one in the bank?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How much is it?
Well, I said it won't be a new one, it'll be an advertisement for a used.
Okay.
Yes. And the budget range is around $110,000. But until we advertise, we won't actually have the price.
Is this what we talked about, the roller? Just go behind?
Yeah, that's that steel wheel roller. That's the one we use when we're putting down hot mix. And that's the one you have to have.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Carver. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, next on the agenda, you should have a quote to put a curve in at 40 San Marcos Drive. It should look like this one, and it's got pictures attached to it.
Sort of start taking us out of order.
Yeah, okay.
Lowest price seemed to be with.
Well, it's just one quote on that.
One quote on that.
Yeah.
Like on contract, do we ever get more than one quote?
Well, I do if it's over a certain amount, but if it's under that amount, we don't. And I want to explain to y'all what happened here. Last year we went in and paved this road, and when they ground it up, I wasn't there, but it was a asphalt barrier right down through here where the edge of that pavement was, and it kept that water from going over into this concrete wall. So what we got now, if you look at your pictures a certain way, that water comes off of that street and it comes over and it's getting into that wall, and they had to take that wall apart to let water come through there, and it wasn't going through there at first, and we need to put a curb there to stop that water before it actually blows out that wall.
So where is that water being turned loose across private property? Is that?
Yeah, it's coming off the road and it's going over on private property. That wall, if you'll notice where that flagging is, and the landowner put that there because he didn't want anybody pulling off there, because that soil is actually kind of saturated with water right now. And what we got to do, we just got to put a curb there to stop that water from going over onto that property.
Between the road and the gravel?
And between the road and the gravel.
And that's gonna send it back.
That's gonna
to
send
our
it.
ditch?
That's gonna send it downhill, and then it'll turn off and go downhill.
Okay.
It'll put it back on the route that it was going to originally.
What's the threshold for receiving more than one quote?
A 5. Yeah.
Who constructed that pull out there?
Which one now?
The pull off.
That was done by the landowner. That was there, but been there for I think ever since the house been there.
So the curve is gonna go right along the edge of the road?
The curve is gonna go right along the edge of the road, yes, sir.
Okay.
It's gonna be a V-ditch for the water to run into and come downhill.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it gotta be shallow enough for folks to drive across?
Yes, it'll be a V-ditch. It'll be a V-ditch.
How big is the right of way on that road?
I don't know. That's something I don't know. Most of those yards are right up to the road, so all I know is that is something we'll have to visit the archives and find out. And that is right in behind Mississippi State, where that is.
Board, we need a decision. Go ahead.
Do you have an archives of all of your easements at your office?
No.
Okay, I'm just, sorry. I was
You were
getting
excited.
I was getting excited for a second.
No, those we'll have to go back. We'll have to go to the courthouse and look them up.
I'm not trying to complicate things. I just heard archives and I was getting excited.
Look, I guess, it won't hurt to get a board order, but would this not fall on the maintenance?
Yeah, but I wanted to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Need a motion to add a curb to the shoulder of the road. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimous.
There's a creek that this water trying to get to.
It's trying to get to a ditch, yes, it's trying to get to a ditch.
Right.
As you know, most of those in there is hills and valleys over there.
Right.
And it's trying to get to a ditch. And right now it's cutting across their property, and we need to get it back where it normally have run.
That's right.
And if the landowner built all that pull-out on our right of way, then now we gotta go in there and pour concrete to keep the water off of our right of way.
Well, now originally they put a curve there. It was a curve there, an asphalt curve. And when we went in and redid that road,
Who's they?
the landowner, I'm guessing, because this is something that's not new. This is old.
Well, I'm gonna say it again, then he did all that on our right of way.
Well, he didn't.
He created the problem.
Well, he didn't. The person that owns it now wasn't the original owner, so.
He bought it, that place.
Yeah, but when he bought it, it had a curve there.
So the road was redone and taken down.
And the curve and the
made
grounder
water-
ate the curve up. Yeah.
Is the curve better than a V-ditch, or is it?
Well, they just had a shallow curve there about yay high, and the water that ran over against it ran down.
He created the problem on our right of way. And now he wants us to fix it.
Well, this gentleman didn't. The one that owns it now didn't. They only had the house for 2 years, so it was there beforehand.
All right, let's.
The motion and second, all in favor? Oh, we already did. Okay. Motion passes unanimously. Okay.
All right, one more problem, and y'all don't have this one in the packet. This one was brought to me this morning.
Well, what about the bed line?
All right, I'm gonna do this too,
Oh.
but I wanted to get this one while we were on right away. If you would just pass this one. Supervisor Trainer, this one is going to be in your district. We had a request by the resident and the landowner at 58 Shasta. They have, and as you can see in the picture, they have water that's standing. They did a request for us to come out and clean that ditch out. When the guys got out there, come to find out there's a dispute there, and this gentleman we got a cross drain straight ahead that's supposed to let this water go on out and across the road and into the ditch, another ditch. Well, the gentleman at 16
so I can see is this road tees into another road?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
But if you'll notice that water stops on that property just before the last property.
Right, right.
That gentleman filled a ditch in.
What,
So
on
he-
the last property?
The last property, he
Yeah.
filled a ditch in so he could mow his yard without having to get in a ditch and use a weed eater.
Now the water can't get.
Now
to
the water
cross.
can't get to the ditch, and it all stops there at 58 Shasta.
Is that the cross drain I'm looking at just beyond?
Just beyond his yard.
Okay.
That's the top of the cross drain.
Okay, okay,
But,
I'm
but,
clear.
yeah, but that's our property, the ditch.
Yes, the ditch and the drain. This ditch brings water all the way down Shasta Road, and it's stopping before it can get there, unless it comes a big rain and it goes over. But
So on an elevation scale, this water's supposed to be heading northward
it's,
in this picture?
yeah, it's supposed to be, yes, it's supposed to be going north from this picture. So my thing is, the guy came out and he told the guy, no, I don't want you to touch this ditch. I'm not, and
But
it's
it's our ditch.
I'm gonna do the research on it, but it's supposed to be our ditch.
That traffic stopped up too.
Yes, it's,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to clean it out too if we,
Well, I was gonna say, I was looking at this where that water's standing, even before you get to that cross drain, it looks like it's been filled in more on
it's
this
been,
side too.
that's what happened. He
filled
filled
it in.
in.
Oh, so these are two different properties?
Yeah. Yes.
I was thinking of the property right over
No, he
there.
put stuff in here so he didn't have to get off his mower. So it's keeping water from getting down the hill.
Well, we just need to make sure it's our property,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna have to clean it out.
Yeah, we may have to have somebody go out there with us.
Well, we call
We have a
it
lot of
shit,
yards, a lot of people in neighborhoods that cut their grass up to the road, and of course they get mad if we do anything, and it is our right of way, but they have been allowed, I guess, over years to cut their grass up to the road till they still think it's their yard.
Nobody likes what we do.
No.
Yeah, just take a look at that.
But, I mean, it's a different way if he could have went about this than just chopping the ditch up.
It looks to
We
me
did a
like
fine
now, this
ditch
hasn't just happened.
No,
And
no.
I'm looking at a for sale sign. Did this person just buy this property?
No, they've been there for years. I think the person is actually aggravated and trying to sell the property now.
Oh,
And so
okay.
it's probably interest
Because
sale.
I'm looking at this been stopped up for a while.
No.
Yeah,
Grass is growing.
Yeah,
all
grass
over
is
it.
growing through.
Okay.
But the problem is that this person now wants that water out of the yard, and of course the guys we can't do anything about it because the guy is saying no, don't.
Well, he can pay the piper.
So what I'm saying is, once I find out where our right of way goes, if our right of way is in that ditch, and then I get an order, then the sheriff department don't mind filing an order. That's why I'm before y'all with it.
Well, that's our responsibility anyway, to clean these ditches out so they can drain.
Drain.
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's good to be mosquito season.
Yeah.
As long as
They're
it's
already
on-
out.
As long as it's on county right away.
So can we make a board, order then if after determination that this is county right of way, we contact the property owner and let them know that we'll have to open this ditch up?
I don't think we have to
Well,
contact
yeah.
them at all. I think it's ours.
That's
However,
ours.
my question is, have they gone to court over this or anything? Have you
No,
heard
no,
anything?
they hadn't.
We need to talk further on this.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
we-
the order.
Yeah,
Is it
and
okay?
maybe you and I get in contact with the landowner
We've
that's
got about 3 or
complaining.
4 things that we
Yeah.
probably need to flush through. My concern is that if these two are into it already, there may be more to this story than we're hearing, so let's figure that out.
Cause it's been a while, and now,
Yeah.
the landowner's saying, it's been this way for years, so now all of a sudden you telling me I got it.
This is county road.
Yeah.
This is county road.
County road.
I think it got this way after her husband died, and then the guy decided he would fill it in. But I think it's been a long, ongoing dispute.
Do we need to make a motion to direct our board attorney to start and
Yeah, that probably would be a bad idea.
make a move approval to direct our board attorney to coordinate with the road manager and, check right away in history, et cetera, whatever it is.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. that we authorize our road manager and our board attorney, to investigate this issue.
58 Shasta Street.
At
58 Shasta Street, yes,
And what's the
ma'am.
other address?
16 Shasta is the address where the ditch is stopped up at.
Okay, at 58 Shasta and 16 Shasta. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
One last issue, the bed liners on 4 of our trucks, they are actually deteriorating, starting to deteriorate, and my thing is, we need to replace them, but I want to replace them with asphalt bed liners where they'll be capable of hauling asphalt rather than just dirt and gravel. The regular bed liners are not as expensive, but being that if you go with the asphalt bed liner, they are designed to handle up to 400 degrees, and they are a little bit thicker, so they should last a whole lot longer.
The only thing that jumps out to me on this is labor above does not include removal of existing liners or cleaning out body.
Yeah, we'll strip those old ones out.
You'll do that
Yeah,
in-house?
yeah, we'll do that at house.
Move approval.
Motion by Supervisor Carter, second, by Supervisor Little. Discussion. Before we move forward, is this the one, the 1/2 inch by 10 feet by 24 feet?
Yes, sir, that's one. Now, it's 2, if you'll look at the other one, and I checked with both of them. Palmer does not offer a 5/8, but the other one offers a 5/8. They can go either way. They can go with a 5/8 or a 1/2. He didn't quote the 1/2 because he said they don't normally handle that one. They normally handle a 5/8.
Okay.
The 5/8 is gonna be a little bit thicker.
Yeah, I'm thinking of 1/2. So which one are you
Which one do you recommend?
recommending?
I'm recommending the 5/8. That would be me.
Southern State.
Which is Southern State?
State, yes.
Is that, okay.
Well, it's about $300 difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that a big time difference in longevity of the line?
Yeah, that 5/8 compared to 1/2, it's a good little bit.
And so is this a total for all of?
No, that's just for one, that's
per line.
per vehicle.
Okay.
So
And how many is?
we got 4 of them.
Okay.
We have 5, but one of them, somebody messed it up when I was gone, it sprung, and we don't ever run that trailer for other than brush
Now,
hauling.
I was just looking at this other quote, the Southern States quote. It does not say, it says labor rate, but is that labor to put it in?
Mm-hmm,
Okay,
yeah.
I just wanna make sure.
So the total is how much, 35? Ms. Cotton, I'm sure you checked your budget now.
I got with Miss Dion. I got with her up front, so I know before we got here.
So our motion just need to, make sure it says the 5/8 bed line.
That's for the second vendor?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's from the second bit.
All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, board, I think that covers everything that I had.
Do you have those 2 ditch cleanouts? Do I need to make a motion for those?
No, that'll be on the maintenance. I'll get that tomorrow, we'll get those taken care of.
What about Chem-Pro spraying?
They are finished. They're finished on the paved road. They have not sprayed any gravel road, but they
Starting
did.
to see stuff die off?
Yeah.
Are you pleased with them so far?
So far, they did make a little mix up on a non-spray area, but the guy called me and told me he did, and he just didn't see the sign early enough. So.
Let me ask you about that non-spray. Is that put out, I see these signs that do not mow or spray. Is that put out by a homeowner or is that put out by the state?
They asked for that. No, the homeowners asked
And
for
we
that.
have to honor that even, it's not right away though, is it?
It's right away, but if they don't, and see, on PD Fulton, we don't even spray because we had a request from them years ago that we not spray down there. They just didn't want it in that area at all. So we don't spray that road.
It kills a lot of bees and all kinds of stuff.
It's a
you know,
pollinator issue.
the
Well,
pollinators.
they say it do, but I read up on it. It's actually a bee mite that kills bees. I read up on Mississippi State put out an article, and I read it, and those bee mites, that's what kills most of the bees. But they think it does, and it kills the flowers that they eat, so, you know, who says? But those are put out there by the landowner on request where
We
they
have
don't.
none of that, even though it's our
Well,
right
we
way?
got a lot of those. We got a
I've
lot
seen
of
them. I
those.
didn't know that.
And we got some neighborhoods that don't want them sprayed in at all, so.
Yeah.
Supervisor training, you got anything for a road manager?
Sir, not at the moment, but I certainly appreciate the input.
Okay.
And one other thing, I'm actually trying to get in contact with APAC, the person that I need to talk to, and about maybe purchasing some of the mill material to use as shoulder material on some of the roads that we have, because as being wet as it is now, clay gravel, that machine doesn't like it when it being wet. It really works those guys hard. So I'm trying to get up with some mill material that we may be able to purchase to go back and fix some of these that shoulder work. That's where these low shoulders are. So I'm in the progress with that. I just wanted to let y'all know.
Yeah, would you also look at some of those shoulders where they did the work?
Yeah.
And some of the material just pushed to the side, but could be pulled back to the road.
All right. Will do.
Supervisor Carter, I think he has.
I was asking about Mr. Skinner called last week about he's got that cleared out on New Light.
Okay.
The
ready for the pipe.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just one other thing. Would you consider speed bump with a lower profile?
That's the lowest ones I've found. That is the lowest.
Yeah.
Those are, I think they 2-inch at the highest point, but those are the lowest ones. I even asked that company that sold those, and that is the lowest they.
Is that the one they put on New Light? I mean, on New Hope
Yeah,
Church?
New Hope Church.
They say they're, I hate to even admit this, they say they 25 mile an hour. My son and I said, let's see how fast we can go over these, because I get complaints. And I'm telling you, 30 miles an hour, it's comfortable. You got control of your vehicle.
Yeah.
The first ones we put out, it does not cause somebody to come to a complete stop. What I'm saying, it is designed to let you know they're there, but you can still run 25. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a big nuisance to put them out. So, are you getting complaints on them being too high?
Well, you really do have to come through to a complete stop. If
Well,
you either that or
you gotta
over
slow
time-
down.
Over time, if you don't respect them, I would imagine that you would have some kind of.
Yeah, it makes you, now it puts you at a point where you gotta slow down.
You gotta slow down.
You gotta slow down to about 25 miles an hour.
It's not like the first one.
And that's what we got them there for. Yeah, we don't get them down there where it make them slow down.
The first ones were, you
Yeah.
had to come to a
Yeah.
complete stop almost.
But those were, and that's what they were supposed to be 25 miles per hour speed bump.
I think situational awareness, a lot of times, somebody sees you bumps, and they just, I mean, you're gonna have people that wanna speed, and it's like, that's just a disrespect, you know.
We're working on, the sign blanks will be in Thursday, and we'll have signs right by every blank, every speed bump, where they'll know it's there. So, they just didn't have them, but I had the guys, we couldn't haul material, so the truck drivers went out and put them out. I let them put them out when we could put them out. So, they will be signs put there beside them.
Thank you.
I got one other thing I was gonna say. We were talking about that new Megan Starkis Road,
Mhm.
just finishing with, and anyhow I talked to Clyde. He had that paint can. It was still kind of high.
Yeah.
And he had said he got with you, and that we were supposed to be going out there and putting some material and stuff to keep But I'm saying whatever we need to do to fix it, we need to keep up with time, labor, and money.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get some of that material, the milling material that's been milled up, and hopefully if I can get to purchase some of that material, that will go fast in putting it out. That machine will be able to put it out there and lay it out a lot faster than it will clay gravel right now, because clay gravel is so wet, and it wants to clog in the machine. But that's what we're working on.
Well,
Yeah, we got roped into that one, y'all.
Yeah, and I hate that, because having that, you know,
Yeah.
contracted out, I was hoping it to be finished where we wouldn't have any county, you know, county involvement, because y'all were already, you know, busy. We don't have to go out, you know, go out there and do, but, if you would just make sure to keep
And
up with
that's
all that.
one of the reasons I need that extra rubber tire roller, is because that stuff has to be rolling once you put it down. And if I'm doing something somewhere else, I need one there and one there. And that's what we're working on.
Lisa Lane,
I'm headed down now.
today?
Yeah.
I'll be heading that way. What time?
And just as soon as I can get out here, in fact, when I leave them, the trucks are waiting to get loaded.
Yeah, I saw
They're
that.
waiting on me to get loaded, and so I wanted to be there when we started that. So give us about an hour and we should be getting ready to start.
Have y'all started any discussions with the tire, places on discarding old tires and trying to coordinate anything? You mentioned something about.
Yeah,
having a tire
I actually called a young lady that is down at Jackson to trying to get that process started, and she was supposed to get back with me. So I'm hoping that she'll get back with me this week, so we can get everything organized for a program under their recommendation, and then we're gonna go from there, because we got a